What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day so far. I know we're all really excited for the Switch 2 to come out here in just a few weeks, and some of you might even ask the question, should I sell my Switch 1 to upgrade to the Switch 2 since there's backwards compatibility? And hopefully in this video, you'll have a better understanding as to how that works and whether you should actually sell your Switch 1 and upgrade to the Switch 2 or to keep your Switch 1. And before we get started, welcome to the channel if you're brand new, and make sure to subscribe and give the video a big fat thumbs up if you're brand new. And if you're watching this, and thank you so much for joining us today. So starting out with the first party Nintendo games, you can see with the dark blue, there's 99% that are fully compatible, no issues. And there's one that's not compatible, which we'll go over here in just a second. Out of the partner games, you can see there's about 20-ish% that are fully compatible, no problems. And the lighter blue, there's a lot of games that are still being tested. So we're still waiting on some updates on that, which I'm sure Nintendo will update us here in May pretty soon in the next few weeks. But yeah, over 15,000 games. There's a lot of games to test for that. But the one game that can't be played on the Switch 2 that's Nintendo first party is the Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 4 VR kit. And the reason is because the Switch 2 console is too large and it can't be inserted into the Toy-Con VR goggles accessory. And now, before we get into the games that have compatibility issues, let's talk about some games that require Nintendo Switch 1 Joy-Cons to play, which, by the way, I thought this was crazy because I didn't realize this until now that you can actually use Switch 1 Joy-Cons on the Switch 2, so that's really exciting to know. But you could see out of this games list, the reason that you can't use the Switch 2 Joy-Cons for these games is usually one of two reasons, either because of the IR motion camera, which is inside the Switch 1 Joy-Cons. The Switch 2 Joy-Cons doesn't have that. That's one reason why you can't use the Switch 2 Joy-Cons for these games. And another reason would be for other games such as the Nintendo Switch Sports, is that the Joy-Con 2 doesn't fit in the leg strap, or for Ring Fit Adventure, the Joy-Con 2 doesn't fit in the Ring-Con. So it's either because the Switch 2 controller is too big or because the IR camera issue. So that's pretty much it for those. Now it's really cool because the backwards compatibility list, it looks amazing. Like, it's really promising so far. And it's important to note too that you can play both physical and digital titles. So you can just, if you have a lot of digital titles from Switch 1, you can just transfer that over to the Switch 2 and it'll be on there. And it'll be so easy, and it's nice that that's an option. So just point that out. So let's take a look at games with startup issues on the Switch 2, and then we'll move on to the next tab we have. So I'm going to fast scroll through this really fast so you can see. It's not an extremely big list once you actually look at it, but a lot of these games, personally, I haven't heard of or I haven't really played because they're not massive titles. Like, there might be some such as Batman the Enemy Within, or there might be other ones such as Doom Eternal, or there might be other ones. Let's see what else is a really popular one on here. Maybe Jurassic Park collection, but see, a lot of these, maybe NBA 2K25, NASCAR Rivals, but a lot of these aren't super big popular games that a lot of people have probably played before. But anyways, I'll include this link in the description so you guys can check it out and see exactly what all is on this list. Mega Baseball 3, that was a really good one. Star Wars, so there's a few a little bit bigger games. Jackbox Party Pack. But anyways, so these games right here, these have startup issues, so they're not able to run right now on the Switch 2. So these are still being investigated, and we'll see what happens with these games. As far as games that are playable, but they have some in-game compatibility issues, this is the list for that. And so you can see here, we got like Fall Guys. What else is a really big title on this list? We got Hot Wheels Unleashed, Just Dance 2019. We got Mega Man Legacy Collection, MotoGP 21, Overcooked All You Can Eat, Saints Row the 4th, Steven Universe, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition, Stumble Guys. So yeah, you can see there's quite a bit there's a few games, not as many as the last list, but again, these can be started up, but they just have some in-game compatibility issues. And then here's the games with issues that are planned to be addressed. Just Fortnite and Fitness Boxing, but we know there's going to be a Switch 2 version of Fortnite coming out for the Switch 2, but those are the lists right now that we can see, and like I said, they're going to have an update planned in May as to what else we can see further as far as compatibility goes. But like I said, it looks really promising so far. Me personally, I'm thinking about selling my Switch 1 and just rolling with the Switch 2. I mean, for me, it makes the most sense. But what I'm going to do is whenever I get the Switch 2 on the launch day, I'm just going to double check to make sure, and I'm going to put those Switch 1 games in the Switch 2, make sure they all work, and if they all work for me, then I'm probably going to be saying sayonara, see you later to my Switch 1. But what do you guys think about this compatibility list so far? Are there any games that you saw on the list that were not compatible that you're a little bit upset about? But are you going to sell your Switch 1? Let me know in the comments below if you're going to sell your Switch 1 and just upgrade to the Switch 2. And let me know if you pre-ordered the Switch 2. Who got their hands on a Switch 2? Let's hear that in the comment section below. Again, make sure to subscribe if you're new, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care and bye.